Good afternoon, everyone. Really pleased to be here today to talk about something on Perrier which is very dear to our heart, and it's about sustainability. So, the clicker doesn't work. Okay, so you might wonder what a picture of Salvador Dali is doing on a keynote from Perrier on sustainability. Actually, throughout the history of our brand, we realized that collaboration was absolutely crucial in order to develop the right things. And without collaboration, and when you are alone, it's actually very difficult to do something and to achieve something. So throughout the 150 years of Perrier, we've collaborated with dozens of artists. So you see a sample here on the screen. And we really took a lot of learnings and a lot of pride in these collaborations. So when we started to think about what we can do in the area of sustainable packaging for the brand, we took that idea of collaboration with us. And we decided to not do things alone. Because we believe truly that collaboration can be a game changer in the big challenge that we are facing with all the plastics at the moment. In collaboration, what you get from that is you get new ideas, you get the possibility to have access to network and to contacts that you don't get to have normally. And we believe that in that perspective and in that particular case today, it's quite important to make sure that collaboration is taking place. In order to do that, because let's face reality, I'm not an expert in packaging, I'm not an expert in sustainability, and most people at Perrier are not experts. We, of course, have research and development, and we've got a lot of experts working with us, but we ourselves are not experts. So what we wanted to do is to make sure we were creating the best possible team in order to find out what we could do. And we decided to partner with SoScience. So SoScience is a French company that has been created in 2014, who is really aiming to make sure that they connect the industry and the research world in order to provide sustainable solutions for the future. They really helped us in the process. It's not Perrier alone, it's really Perrier with SoScience, who was building that project, defining the milestone, really building the different steps, and at the end, helping with the recruitment of the winners I'll introduce a bit later. And SoScience will continue to play a very important role in the mentorship of the winners in the next days and months. And Melanie from SoScience will join me for the roundtable a bit later. And so we had already a good team, but we decided to complete that team, making sure that everything we were doing would be backed by the right level of expertise and making sure that the winners of our program would be able to benefit from the right support. So we decided to recruit, in a way, a whole team of experts in very specific fields who have accepted to join us in order to help select the projects and also to help us in the future and help the winners make progress on the next steps. So I'm pleased to announce that we've got Sabrina Cipulo from the Solar Impulse Foundation, who accepted to join us. Sabrina, I know, is here today, and maybe we'll be able to see her a bit later. We've got Dr. Zhang Nanqing from the Institute of Science in Beijing, who's really an expert in plastics. We've got Sean Sutherland, who's the founder of the NGO A Plastic Planet. We've got Luigi Capuzzi, who's the head of research and development at Novamont. And we've got Philippe Meister, because we felt it was also interesting to have other people from the industry. And Philippe is the head of sustainability strategy for Adidas Group. So we've got that team who we believe has helped us and will continue to help us in order to make sure that those projects can become successes in the future. So you understood that one of the key things that is important for us is this idea of collaboration. Another thing that is absolutely dear to our hearts and very important is to make sure that, one, we do the basics well, and I'll come back to that in a second, and also that we dream high. The ability to do both at the same time is what we believe can help make a step change on the sustainability of packaging. So starting by what I mean by doing the basics well, the first thing we need to do, because we are in the water business, and in the water business, the first thing we want to ensure our consumers is that the product is obviously safe and the highest quality possible. So there's a lot of work that is being done in the territory of Vergès, where the factory is located, in order to make sure that we protect as well as possible and every day the quality of the water. So there's a lot of things that have been done throughout the years. There's now 300 acres of land that are organic. We made sure that we were working very closely with all the local stakeholders. So for example, there's wine in that area since the Roman times. And we have worked with them in order to make sure that what they do is good for their business and is good for our business. So it's now organic, and it has helped them, I think, become a very recognized and a very big winery. It's actually the third largest organic winery in France. We've done other things on saffron fields, so things like that in order to make sure that we were able to always work in close collaboration with the people around us. We also need to do some work in other areas. So you see a train here, so transport is absolutely crucial. We sell Perrier in more than 150 countries in the world. And the last thing we did in that area was last year the creation of an 80% electric train that goes from the factory to the port of Fos-sur-Mer. And this train is the biggest one that has ever been created, and it has enabled us to reduce the number of trucks on the roads by 27,000 and to reduce the CO2 emission by 2,500 tons. So all these are important things we are doing in order to help. The last area is obviously packaging, and there's a lot of projects at the moment in order to make sure that we continue to innovate. We were the first one to come with a can, an aluminum can in the water industry, and we are working on other projects which we can detail later. The other thing we do is to dream high, because if we go back, I'm a brand builder at the beginning, and if you go back to what is Perrier, there was this history of collaboration with incredible artists. So we wanted to continue that, and we feel that in the field we're talking about today, if we don't dream high, we'll miss some opportunities. So we have decided to launch the project that is called the Next Packaging Movement. And this Next Packaging Movement is all about making sure that we create ways to improve packaging, starting to the source until the end of life of packaging, with the potential for this packaging to be positive for environment or society. So we did that, making sure that we select the right projects. We had some selection criteria that included our breakthrough, the initiative is, how much of an impact it can create to the environment and society, and how scalable it is. So we've done that work, and at the end we had more than 90 applications. We had a meetup day. In this meetup day, some collaborations could take place. 12 collaborations were born, and out of that we did 3 projects, which I'll present to you in a second. So I'd like to, before presenting you the project, to welcome on stage Faith, Min, and Anas, who are the winners of the Next Packaging Movement first edition, and we hope that it will be long for last. So Faith, Min, and Anas, if you want to join me on stage. So there's not a lot of time in the keynote talk, so we were a bit blocked, but I really wanted to have them with me so that you can put a face as well on all these three people who are really innovating and who are really trying to develop new solutions. So Faith is especially looking at using some waste and to recreate a new plastic that we could use in PET, as PET in the future. And Faith is based in Africa, and this would also provide some well-paid jobs for people in the collection process. Then we've got Anas, so it's the other way around, but I'll go with you. So Anas, we have decided to have a collaboration between FlexiKeg and Perrier. So FlexiKeg is a keg solution that is aiming at reducing both the carbon footprint and the waste management. And so we are looking at ways to see how it can work for water and beyond. And we've got as well Min. So Min is the face we show today, but in the project there's actually a lot more people. And it's really an upcycling idea on how to make sure that we use waste and really using some low or high-tech solutions in order to recreate some elements from this waste and valorize it. And that could also create a lot of work for people where we do that. So thank you very much. Please, if you have questions for them, do reach out to them. They are here for that because we want their ideas to be more known. So that's the whole purpose. In order to support them, what we'll do is that we are giving to each project 100,000 euros. And we'll invest up to $1 million in total based on discussions we'll have together on the precise needs. And what we'll provide as well is support for the projects to develop. Thank you very much, and I hope that a lot of people will come to see you. So that's almost the end of my presentation. As you could see in the title, the Next Packaging Movement by Perrier is all about making the future sparkle. As you see and saw and heard, we are really believing in collaboration, in trying new things in a lot of areas. And we do hope that beyond the projects that we presented today, in which we have very high hopes, but also the spirit of that, this collaboration is something that can infuse for more people and that can create some amazing projects for the future. Thank you very much. I've been over my time, but not too much, so I think people won't be too mad with me. Thank you.